The family of Otto Warmbier have filed a lawsuit against the DPRK for the alleged torture of their son to death despite the lack of any evidence. The family insists that the government is responsible for the death of their son while he was held in their custody. As you may recall, Otto Warmbier was the U.S. student that was arrested in the DPRK in December 2015 for stealing a propaganda poster. He was caught on camera stealing it, and as the story goes, he planned to take it back to his church as a trophy of having disrespected the DPRK. Now, because it was caught on camera, he faced trial and was eventually convicted of the crime. Then he was then sentenced to numerous years of hard labor. Now, his parents, Cindy and Fred Warmbier, filed a lawsuit in the Washington District Court on Thursday saying that while he was under DPRK detention, he did eventually fall into a coma and then was released on humanitarian grounds. His family claims that while he was in their custody, he was tortured. His family asserts that their son was falsely accused despite the fact that his offense, stealing a poster, was caught on camera and broadcast at the trial and to the media. In their filing, they claim that their son was targeted in retaliation for the U.S. government's decision to impose additional sanctions on North Korea, which were announced at the time. Once Otto transferred back to the United States after his health deteriorated, his family began accusing the DPRK of having committed torture. An investigation post-mortem contradicted the claim that his family made in a Fox and Friends interview that someone had taken a pair of pliers and rearranged his bottom teeth. Now, as I've said previously, I believe that the young man attempted suicide, and that is what led to him being placed inside of a coma and then being transferred back home. This certainly does explain why there's a lack of any evidence that he was tortured whatsoever, which is what the post-mortem investigation determined. However, the family seems to be very insistent upon blaming the DPRK for his death. They are an ultra-Christian family that are heavily connected to a church in which suicide would be seen as a tremendous sin. Now, this lawsuit comes at a very interesting time when peace negotiations between the North and the South are reaching a great height, and great strides have been made towards that end. Even now, a declaration of wanting to end the Korean War once and for all, to get rid of the demilitarized zone and creating passages of both a highway and a railway between the North and the South. Now, previously, I reported that there would very likely be some attempt by the United States to try to sabotage these steps forward. This is a very blatant propaganda move on the part of the U.S. to try to paint the DPRK in a bad light now that it's made so many strides towards peace and has improved its reputation globally. Now that the DPRK and the South are now in a much more peaceful position, there's no justification for U.S. troops to remain inside of the South. It seems very much that this is a part of a larger propaganda campaign that will be carried out by the United States, of which Otto Warmbier's parents seem to be a part of. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.